In this project, we're going to talk about the quality feature of source. And as I told you in the previous videos, especially the one about this project tab, that questions that are answered in these stages are reflected in the background in terms of what the quality of the project is, and that you can see by pressing the quality tab. So now when you open the quality tab here, you can see that there is a risk allocation table, which is basically a consistency check. And what it does here is that, you know, based on the questions that you answer during the project structuring and project feasibility stage, and the risks that you allocated for the project. So this table actually shows you whether those risk allocations are in line with international best practices. So this is empty at the moment, but here you can see once the, the project is populated, you'll see here that it's either going to be written private party, public, private, public, shared. So this shows you that this is the allocation that you've given to the project. And anything which has, let's say, you want to see details about a particular risk, so you go into the view details button, and you first of all you get a description, and it tells you what the best practice is regarding land availability, access, and site risk. And it tells you that it's the contracting authority that typically bears the risk of this. The typical allocation for this sort of risk is a public. And here you can see that why is this empty, because in the source stages for this particular project that I'm showing you, these questions were the ones that were related to this particular risk, and they have not been answered. So because they have not been answered, here you can see this is why the land availability is empty, and so the project cannot be assessed in terms of the risk. Source is unable to assess the project in terms of this particular risk or for any other. Let's say we're talking about a refinancing risk. So you look at the details of this risk, and it tells you uh, how it should typically be, that it should be shared. And because we haven't given an answer to this question, which was in the source stage, this has not been uh, reflected here. So if you press the edit fields button, and in fact, you can even here you can answer the question. So it's not like you have to go back into the source into the project page and find out this particular question from the hundreds of questions already in there. You can just answer the question here, and it's automatically going to reflect. So it says that it's a shared risk. Let's say we also do that. We say let's say we go with uh, it should be with the private party, and we add a comment to justify, and then we review this. So it's saying that these questions will be reviewed. Do you confirm your answers? So whoever is the project manager, or the one with the rights to validate answers, is going to look at these answers and review these answers. So it's possible that he would change this and put it in the right allocation, which is a shared allocation. So if you say yes, you see here that there's a flag now, and this flag and it's showing you that you've marked it as a private risk. Now you look into, if you want to edit the risk, you go into edit risk, and the same box opens up. uh, you say that it should be a shared risk. Then you describe the sharing mechanism, how are you going to share the risk, and an answer is required here. And then you review the answer, and you say yes to that. And now it's a shared risk. So you see that it's not flagged here, right? It's not flagged here, which means that this is the ideal allocation, and best in class, best practices allocation is that it should be a shared risk. Now, the construction risk here, you can see that this has a red flag on it, which means that there's something wrong with this. So you go in there and you check what the details are, and the system source tells you that basically the construction risk should ideally be with the private sector, whereas we have put it in a shared uh, thing, right? And the answers that we've given here are, so you can edit this and you know provide a better, firmer answer, and then answer these questions, and based on this, you can correct this again. And once you do this here, you don't have to duplicate it in this section. Automatically the relevant source questions that were linked to construction risk would automatically be updated, and the project quality would definitely improve because of that. So this is a very important and very useful table, the risk allocation table. This allows you to check at the end of the day how the project is structured, and basically PPPs are a procurement modality where the risk allocation has to be uh, uh, very optimal. So this table allows you to see if you're doing it optimally or not. Then, in terms of the other methodologies, the answers that we gave in the environmental, social, other sectors templates, so they automatically show up here. The answers to that automatically show up here. How many SDGs are being affected with this by this project? How many people will gain access to safe food? SDG 5. What will be the impact on SDG 5 because of this project? Then all these SDGs that are applicable on this project. There are more than 13 SDGs, but at this point in time, there are, as you can see here, after 8, it's 12 and 13. So 9, 10, SDG number 9, 10, and 11 are apparently those SDGs which are not applicable to this road and bridge project. So that is why they are not showing here, but the relevant SDGs are being shown here. SDG 3, 6, 7, 5, things like that. So this was the project quality section.